impulse response function. If we allow these four variables, each of them experiences a shock, how will impulse response function, IMPULSE, impulse response function, and the response. We just look at if the S&P 500 return has a shock, how does it affect the S&P 500 return? Also, the second one, when the term spread after first difference has a shock, how does it affect the S&P 500 return? The third one is when the monetary growth rate experiences a shock, how does it affect the S&P 500 return? The last one is when the liquidity premium has a shock, how does it affect the S&P 500 return? Okay. And the period, we choose 20.
What?
Oh, it means 20 weeks.
Oh, 20 weeks.
A longer term. You can also choose 10 weeks. And that's the impulse response function result. So when the stock market experiences a increase, of course the stock return will goes up. But maybe after 1 week, it starts to go down to 0. And then the second one is the term spread. So when term spread increases, the stock return in the beginning goes down. Yeah, the red dashed line represents the 95% confidence interval. Yeah, so in the beginning it goes down. Yeah, and then after the second week it goes up, and then it goes up above 0. And then after 4 weeks, it goes down, and then approaches to the 0 level.
Can you tell me again? This is like effectiveness of the term spread on the S&P 500 return, right?
Oh yeah, when the term spread experiences a shock, when term spread increases, then what happens to the S&P 500 return? So
this is just like the volume term spread, not serial correlation, like over time.
Oh no. And this just depicts it is like a dynamic behavior of the stock return.
Like coefficient.
It is like a coefficient.
Like the specific volume, then the coefficient will go up and down.
Yes. And then the third one is when money growth rate increases, what happens to the stock return? So in the beginning it has nothing, but then it goes down, and then it goes up above 0. Now it is about 0.1, and then it goes down again and up again, but then it just approaches 0.
Why is the return on return so high?
Oh, yeah. It tells us that when the stock market now experiences increase, maybe yesterday and today in Taiwan stock market, a lot of foreigners, they are purchasing Taiwan stocks. Yeah, something like that. And then we have seen some stocks increases, but not all the stocks. Yeah.
No, I mean this test is like return on return, right?
No, not the interpretation. I want to go back to.
Isn't the coefficient of return on return should be 1 because it's the same thing?
But you see, the variance decomposition tells you that.
You have already saved before, no?
No, I don't see it.
Yeah, of course.
But I did it for the assignment. Now I can't see.
I think your FU is not standard. The same with mine last year. When I using FU 7, 8, sometimes the result is
Of course,
different.
when I
So
experience
the
the
result
shock,
is different, like the number?
the shock to
No problem.
myself is the biggest.
Because
But
I'm
as
using
time
the
goes
EFUS
down,
11 and it has
goes by,
different
the-
result with
yeah,
the
the
sum.
effect
With
will
10.
diminish.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
10 and 11 is similar.
0 is would be the
Ah,
high
okay.
absolute. it's as good. It
Because
would
I
be
thought it's gonna
like
be
an
affected
absolute
something.
effect,
Like,
and then
I'm
over time
comparing the number
effect
in
on
here
myself.
and there, it's different. It's
Yeah,
like,
go down, yeah.
Oh God, I don't like.
67.
right?
And the third one is liquidity
Still
premium.
the same. The
When liquidity
standard
premium goes up,
standard error still
okay,
the
what
same.
happens to the S&P 500 return?
Six,
It goes
7%.
down,
Yeah,
and
so
then it
it's
goes up,
not important if
and
like
then
the rest of it.
above
Yes.
0, and then
Because I'm
after
using the
that,
11,
it goes
the
back
it's
to
not
0.
competitive.
Still compatible with if you use 10 and 11%. No problem.
That's why I read it.
Run again.
I a little bit confused with
Because it's not
finance because my background is accounting, but I don't know for finance. Me too, because my background is HR. I took these courses out of curiosity and I got stuck.
Actually, we all have to have econometrics
And then you
next semester. I already have that. You like you have that.
What?
This the processing this. Everyone in our class have to have that. It's compulsory. So you might as well study earlier, like
Yeah, okay.
you cannot skip this. You cannot escape
I
from
will
this.
probably a little bit slow since I have no
Please,
finance
take care of
background
yourself.
because
Of
my
course.
background was HR.
Last
I
time
was
I
working
was
as a
trying,
trainer.
it didn't go.
And
But
then
if I use
I
quick
took these courses out
quickly
of
give me a
curiosity because
different
I wanted to know and because
result,
I believe
so
this
I
will
have
be
to start
useful.
everything
But
again.
Yes. One.
I beg your pardon
To start
if
again,
I will
start
be a
again.
little
Yeah.
bit slow.
Oh, no problem, no
Wasting
problem.
Yeah.
But you will, you will know it all.
No, I was
Yeah,
just
because
Yeah.
this granger causality will be
The
different.
finance
Right?
is
The
easy.
finance
This is
like I
difficult.
mean the finance in general. Like I have no.
The finance stuff is
I will
easy, but
probably-
this is difficult.
Oh, yeah, I just told you how to, because last time I have shown you the auto-regressive model. Yeah, and this one is vector auto-regression model. Yeah, and and in the in later class we are showing you another methodologies. Yeah, so don't worry, don't worry.
I will give you the PS1's granger causality. That one is okay.
Okay, so that all of them are about the vector auto-regression model.
Yes, different. Where can I go again? To the
Okay, so for you, may I have your name, please? Ikersa. Oh, so if Ikersa would like to study, for example, maybe the top managers' earnings, in the company, in your term paper, yeah, we can also use the vector autoregression model to study that. Okay. And for Tiffany, if you would like to study anything related to the human resource.
Well, compensation and benefit, like when we count our employees monthly salary.
Monthly salary, yeah. How about you, Charlie?
I'm told you finance.
Finance. Anything related to finance. Yeah, like one of my students, she would like to study, last year there is COVID-19 and it is still going on. Okay, we would like to study how the COVID-19 and it is the sanitary crisis. How does the sanitary crisis affect banks' liquidity? Yeah, so we can also use e-views, to conduct research. Yes.
Professor, from the Granger causality results, how do we know if the Granger causality have a one-way causality or two-way causality or?
Yeah. So. Yeah. So for S&P 500, we detect that the term spread after first difference, has a causal effect on stock return. Okay, so that's one way. Okay, goes from term spread to S&P 500 return. Okay, and then we go to the dependent variable. Okay, when the term spread is the dependent variable, let's see if the S&P 500 return has any causal effect on the term spread. Unfortunately, the p-value is not significant. Okay, so there is no two-way. There's no two-way between term spread and S&P 500 return. We only detect one causal effect. Okay, goes from term spread to S&P return. Okay, and then let's see. Okay, when term spread is the dependent variable. Okay, the other three variables have no causal effect on term spread. Okay, how about M2 rate? Okay, when M2 rate is used as the dependent variable, the S&P 500 return, okay, 4 weeks ago, okay, have causal effect on the current M2 rate. So, is there any causal effect from M2 rate to S&P return? Okay, let's see. When S&P 500 return is used as the dependent variable, M2 rate, okay, 4 weeks ago, okay, have no causal effect on the S&P 500 return. Okay, and let's see the last one. Okay, when liquidity premium is used as the dependent variable, okay, the S&P 500 return 4 weeks ago have causal effect on the liquidity premium. Okay, and the other one is when the term spread okay, 4 weeks ago has causal effect on the premium. Okay, so according to the Granger causality test, we just detect a one-way causality, okay, from term spread to S&P 500 return, okay, from stock return to monetary growth rate, from stock return to liquidity premium, from term spread to liquidity premium. Okay, only one way.
Only as a whole, only one way interpretation from the FAR test.
Yes.
But if we run to another analysis, for example, if we run the Granger causality and then we get the null hypothesis, for example, the term spread Granger cause SP return and vice versa. Is it the same interpretation?
Oh, the impulse response function, or variance decomposition.
No, could you please test again?
Test again.
Please come back to the work file.
In
our work file.
The VR one.
No. In our work file, in our series. I mean, in our series before. For example, come back to in our series. Series in maybe close, yes. Just come back. Yes. Maybe we take again the SP 500 return first, and then the term spread.
Term spread.
The term spread, and then M2 rate, then premium. Yes, and then this as a group.
As a group.
Yes, and then view. Then Granger causality. Last 2 years. And then 4.
Yes.
Yeah,
when we do that, that's not under the vector autoregression, so we might reach different conclusion. Yeah, the one I just provide you, that's we do that under the vector autoregression framework. Yeah, we can also do that, but that's not under the vector autoregression framework. Yeah, so we have different conclusions. Okay, so from this, okay, what does it tell us? Again, we still look at the p-value. Okay. So when we conduct the Granger causality test out of the vector autoregression framework, okay, it tells us that the term spread, okay, the null hypothesis is term spread does not Granger cause S&P 500 return, but the p-value says it is significant, so it means the null hypothesis can be rejected. Okay, so what it says is that the term spread Granger causes S&P 500 return. Okay, and the second one, S&P 500 return does not Granger cause term spread. The p-value is not significant, so we cannot reject the null hypothesis. Okay, the third one, M2 rate does not Granger cause S&P 500 return. The p-value is not significant, so we cannot reject the null hypothesis. Okay, for this one, okay, 4.E minus 0.6. Okay, it means 4.
0.000.
Yeah, it is on the 6th decimal point after 0. So the p-value is very small. It is very significant. Okay, so about the null hypothesis, okay, we can reject that. Okay, what it means is that the S&P 500 return Granger causes the M2 growth rate. Okay, and this one, the liquidity premium does not Granger cause S&P 500 return. The p-value is 0.02. Okay, so we can reject the null hypothesis. So we conclude that the liquidity premium Granger cause S&P 500 return. Okay, and this one, okay, it is again 9.E minus 23. So it is a very small value, as small as 0. So we can reject the null hypothesis, and we conclude that S&P 500 return Granger causes liquidity premium. Okay, and this one, okay, it is not significant because the p-value is as high as 0.8. Okay, as about the term spread, okay, the p-value is very significant, so we can reject this null hypothesis, and we conclude that the term spread, okay, after first difference, Granger causes the M2 growth rate. Okay, and how about this one? 0.6, so we cannot reject the null hypothesis. Okay, how about this one? Term spread, okay,
Reject.
yeah, we can reject that because the probability is very small. Okay, so we conclude that the term spread, okay, Granger causes the liquidity premium. Okay, how about this one? The probability is very small, so we can reject. We say that the liquidity premium Granger causes the M2 growth rate. Okay. So do we detect any two ways Granger causality test in this table?
No.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes, in the premium to S&P return and S&P return to premium.
Oh, so premium to S&P 500,
Yes. And then
and then
M2 rate to
M2 rate.
Yes.
Oh,
No.
Oh.
Only one. Only one pay. Only one pay.
oh, only one way. Okay, so that's from S&P 500 return to M2 rate. Okay, and term spread. Okay, yeah, from term spread to S&P 500. How about 500 to term spread?
Yes, there's one there.
Yes, it's
Oh.
two-way.
or two-way.
Yes.
But why are we having different results? Because last time, before I submit my assignment, the first graduate causality I run was this pairwise graduate causality. So I realized that all of them were not graduate causing each other. So, and then I used the vector regression one. That is the one that I submit for my assignment. But now when you run it here, we are having one that is causing another, like in terms of the M2 rate. Graduate causing, yes, the graduate causes SP500 return.
Oh.
But when I run it before, and even if I do it now, it won't. Because all my results, we are not graduate causing each other. Yes, so now you run it. Why are we having different results?
Oh, yeah, this one is not under the vector autoregression, but under vector autoregression, do you remember? Yeah, actually we have the ordering, we have different ordering, but
okay.
here, actually there is no ordering, okay, but under the VAR model, there is an ordering. First we put stock return, and then the term spread,
M2 rate.
yeah, M2 rate. Sorry, Charlie, do you think the Mr. Endolfi can see my handwriting here? Do I need to pull up the screen and write in the middle?
Yeah. Sorry to.
Yeah, because under the there is an ordering of the variables. Okay, first I put stock return. Okay, what it means is that the stock return has the most explanatory power on the other variables, and then the other one, the second one is the term spread. And M2 rate, and liquidity premium. When I put the variables in this ordering, what it means is that the premium, this factor has the lowest explanatory power for the other variables. Yeah, and also under the VAR model, yeah, according to the Swarovski criteria information criterion, okay, we only allow 4 lags, okay. Because of that, under this framework, when we conduct the causality test, okay, so due to these limitations, restrictions, we might have different quantum causality results, okay, from the one we just put up, okay. That one, okay, we have the quantum causality test, okay, out of the VAR model. Yeah, and we, in that case, we do not need to post the restrictions on the ordering of the variables. And there is no limitation about the lag length. So we reach different conclusion.
Because I just run it now here and none of them causes each other. But I rank them according to SP500, term spread, M2 rate, and premium.
The same before.
Yeah, but you see,
Yeah.
none of them cause each other.
Yes, yeah, because in this case, yeah, first we do not put them in an ordering,
Okay.
and there is no lag. Yeah, so we reach different conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, you can also check pairwise. Oh.
This is the pairwise protocol.
Uh-huh.
The statistics.
Yeah.
Group statistics. Granular causality.
Oh,
Different.
It's gonna give you the pairwise because it's already pairwise.
pairwise. Yeah, that's the pairwise.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the pairwise, but it is not the
Different from-
Granger causality test under the VAR.
VAR,
So
yes.
these two are different Granger causality tests. So we reach different conclusions.
Yeah, let me add that. Langsung tuh,
Yes, yeah,
Granger causality.
yeah. Yeah, this one is under the VAR.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so yeah,
So
they
this
are
one, yeah,
different.
they are different. So this was the one I presented for the assignment.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Because the pairwise
Mhm.
was, the result was not so good.
If we compare with the 6 lab, whether the result.
Oh, 6 lakhs, okay. Oh, so are you girls okay?
Yeah.
I need to ask you before I forgot.
Oh.
What is this week homework?
This week's, oh, there is no homework because you
Prepare to
have,
test.
yeah, you have a test to take. Oh, about the test, okay, okay, about the test, because Mr. Endolfi is not coming. I wonder if you would like to take a face-to-face exam or you want to take an online exam.
Online.
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 Online, okay. Okay, just give you, yeah, I prepared some questions for you. Okay, please go to the announcement on iLearning. The 20th announcement I posted. Okay, midterm exam question set. So I prepared 13 questions for you. 13 questions. So for the midterm exam, I will choose some questions from the set. Okay. The first one, why is the secondary market important? The second one, the difference between brokers and dealers. The third one, okay, issuers of U.S. Treasury bills, negotiable certificate of deposit, commercial papers, repurchase agreement, and federal funds. Okay. And the fourth one, factors that affect monetary base. And the fifth one, convertible bonds. And the sixth one, okay, when we talk about table 1, okay, yeah, that's here, okay. When we explain when we introduce the meaning of interest rate. Yeah, we have shown you this table. Okay, so under different yield to maturity, actually we have obtained different price of bonds. Okay, so what are the 3 relationships we can draw from the table? Okay. And then, why would the government choose to issue a perpetuity, which requires payments forever, instead of a terminal loan, such as a fixed payment loan or a coupon bond? Okay. The 8th, under what conditions will a discount bond have a negative nominal interest rate? Is it possible for the coupon bond or perpetuity to have a negative nominal interest rate? Okay. And 9, 5 points from the coupon bond. Okay, so go back to the meaning of interest rates. Okay. This is a table 2. Okay, remember that's the homework. Okay, I asked you to find the price, okay, for 1 year bond, the rate of capital gain and the rate of return, and for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and then 5 years. Okay, and then we have reached 5 relationships, okay, from the above example. Okay, what are the 5 points? Okay, the return equals the yield to maturity only if the holding period equals the time to maturity. A rise in interest rates is associated with a fall in bond prices, resulting in a capital loss if time to maturity is longer than the holding period. Third, the more distant a bond's maturity, the greater the size of the percentage price change associated with an interest rate change. Fourth, the more distant a bond's maturity, the lower the rate of return occurs as a result of an increase in the interest rate. Fifth, even if the bond has a substantial initial interest rate, its return can be negative if interest rates rise. Okay, so these are the 5 points we can draw from the table. Okay. And then the role of mortgage-backed securities in the financial crisis. Okay, it is here. Okay, when we talk about the overview of financial market. So does it play a major role in the financial crisis? I'm afraid so. Okay, it plays a central role. Okay, so the rapid increase in home prices and the growing demand for mortgage-backed securities will encourage banks to lower their lending standards and drive consumers to jump into the market at any cost. Okay. And with Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae aggressively supporting the mortgage market, the quality of all mortgage-backed securities declined and their ratings became meaningless. And in 2006, okay, the housing prices peaked and the Fed increased the interest rate. Okay. But when the Fed started to increase the interest rate, okay, to the people, okay, who have obtained the mortgage-backed securities, okay, they start to default, and then the housing market began its long collapse, and more people began walking away from their mortgages because their homes were worthless than their debts, okay, and then the conventional mortgages underpinning the mortgage-backed securities market saw steep declines in value, and the fall of non-payments meant that many mortgage-backed securities and collateralized debt obligations based off pools of mortgages were vastly overvalued. Okay. And the losses piled up as institutional investors and banks try and fail to unload that mortgage-backed securities investments. Credit tightened, causing many banks and financial institutions to teeter on the brink of insolvency, and lending was disrupted to the point that the entire economy was at risk of collapse. Okay, so that's the role of mortgage-backed securities in the financial crisis. Okay. And then, mortgage-backed securities, and how mortgage-backed securities works. So, also in the overview of financial markets. So these are the definition for mortgages. Okay. So mortgages are loans to households or firms to purchase land, housing, or other real structures in which the structure or land itself serves as collateral for the loans. Okay. And in the US, okay, the mortgages market is the third largest debt market. Okay. And there are 2 types of mortgages. One is residential. Okay. The other one is commercial and farm mortgages. But the residential one has a larger amount, okay, outstanding amount. Okay. And mortgages are provided by financial institutions such as savings and loan associations, mutual savings bank, commercial banks, and then insurance companies. Okay. And the federal government plays an active role in the mortgage market, okay, through 3 government agencies, okay, the Fannie Mae, Ginnie Mae, and the Freddie Mac. Okay, so the 3 government agencies provide funds to the mortgage market by selling bonds and using the proceeds to buy mortgages. Okay, and mortgage-backed securities are different from mortgages. Okay, so there is a growing amount of the funds for mortgages have been provided by mortgage-backed securities. Okay, and these securities are bond-like debt instruments backed by the bundle of individual mortgages whose interest and principal payments are collectively paid to the holders of the security. Okay, so that's about the mortgage-backed securities. Okay.
When
Okay.
did you post the list of question? I couldn't find it.
Oh, this one?
The question list.
Oh, question list. Okay, the announcement.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah, down, the 20th. The 20th.
Scroll down.
Yeah, you need to scroll down to the second page. The second page, the 20th. Or Ryan, could you please take a picture of this and then post it to the line group so everyone can see that?
I've already found it. I just didn't scroll.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh dear. So how about endorphin? Does he find this? Can he see this one?
We can tell him in the line group, I think.
Oh, okay, good.
And then he told me that he will come here on this month, April 27th.
Oh, good.
And plus
Yeah, I
the
have to take video later.
and plus the quarantine 3 weeks.
So he should be here
In May,
in
like-
May.
Second or third week of May.
Oh, good.
It was almost the end of the semester.
Oh,
The semester ends at June.
It was almost the end of the semester.
okay. So next week we will have an online exam. Okay. So I will post. Yeah, I will have you to go to the homework assignment. Okay, and you will see that. Okay, you will see that. Okay. Let me go to the classroom. You should be able to find that, okay, in the homework assignment. Okay, at 2 o'clock p.m. Yeah. So can you finish by 4 o'clock p.m.? And I will need you to have handwriting instead of copy and paste.
So we write down the answer, take the picture, and
Yeah.
slide.
Yeah, can you do that?
Okay.
And so don't forget, okay, next Thursday, okay, you will see your exam, okay, in the homework assignment.
Oh, next Thursday.
But
Yeah.
my handwriting is very bad. My handwriting is very bad.
Oh, your handwriting is very bad.
So we stay at home and then we.
Yeah, probably I will have you to write.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, there are some calculation questions. Just write down your answers on pieces of A4 paper and then take a picture and upload the picture, okay, by 4 o'clock p.m. Okay. So it's good for Patrick because Patrick lives in Taichung. So he doesn't need to come to school. Okay, let's go back to the e-views.
Oh, okay.
So are you okay? Are you okay with the midterm exam?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the e-views. So the E-views I have just shown you, okay, there are 4 legs for each of the variables. Okay, now let's see if we increase the legs to 6. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so when I increase the leg length from 4 to 6, okay, so can anyone tell me which variable, okay, has explanatory power for the current S&P 500 return?
Like what?
Okay, leg 1 for S&P 500 return is significant. Okay, and leg 2,
Two,
leg 5,
like 5 years. Then like
term
one,
spread leg 1,
like 2,
and leg 2,
like
and then let me scroll down. Okay,
premium.
yeah, premium, liquidity premium 1,
Premium 5.
and premium 5. Okay, so it seems to us that when we increase the leg length to 6, more variables, okay, have the explanatory power for the current S&P 500 return. Okay. Let's see the Granger causality test. Okay, when S&P 500 return is the dependent variable, the term spread, okay, 6 weeks ago, okay, of course including 5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and 1 week ago, okay, all of them have forecasting power on the current S&P 500 return, okay. And when term spread is the dependent variable, okay, the other 3, okay, the other 3 variables, previous terms, do not have any explanatory forecasting power on the current term spread. Okay, and when M2 growth rate is the dependent variable, the S&P 500 return, okay, 6 weeks ago, okay, have the significant forecasting power for the M2 growth rate. About the premium, liquidity premium is the dependent variable. The S&P 500 return, okay, 6 weeks ago, and term spread 6 weeks ago, okay, both of them have explanatory forecasting power for the liquidity premium. But it seems to me these results are the same, okay, with the one when I only allow 4 leg length. Okay, so it doesn't change the results. Okay, that's the impulse response function. Again, I just focus on the response of S&P 500 return. Okay. So when I allow for 6 legs, okay, when stock return increases, okay, the stock return increases in the beginning, and then it goes down, and even down below 0, and then it takes more time. Okay, now it takes about 8 weeks or 9 weeks, okay, to go back to the normal level. When term spread increases, okay, the S&P 500 return goes down first, and then it goes up above 0, okay, and then it goes down again, it goes up, and then goes down. Again, when I allow for 6 leg length, okay, it takes more time, at least 10 weeks, for the stock return to go back to the normal level. Okay, how about M growth rate, the M2 rate? So in the beginning, when the M2 rate increases, the stock return in the beginning goes down, and then it goes up above 0, okay, and then it takes about 8 weeks, okay, for the stock return to go back to 0. Okay. The liquidity premium, when it increases, the stock return goes down, and then it goes up above 0, and then goes down, and then goes up. Okay, so it takes about 6 weeks for the S&P 500 return to go back to the normal level. Yeah. So as compared to 4 weeks, 4 lags, okay. Yeah, so for each of the variable experiences shocks, okay, it takes more time. It takes more weeks for the stock return to go back to the normal level. Okay, so that's the result. Any questions?
No questions.
Oh, no questions? Okay, good. Oh, yeah. Also, for your proposal, okay, after the midterm exam, okay, so you will have a presentation, okay, in the end of April. Okay, so, oh, yeah, here comes the question, because Mr. Endolfi will not be here by that time, so probably I will have him, yeah, I will schedule another time for him to have presentation, okay. But for the other students, okay, so yeah, don't forget we have a presentation on April 29th, okay, and on that day I will also like for you to submit your.
I do have a question about
Yes.
this. And here you said that the presentation including introduction, literature review, and research methodology. What I'm going to ask is that is it like we are writing a full report, like a three like 40 pages of report, then including all of the financial journal we read, or we review a journal or something like what?
Okay. For example, if you would like to study, okay, whether the monetary growth rate will affect the stock return, yeah, so you can read some papers, maybe for at least 6 papers, yeah, to see what they said.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the literature review. So from the 6 papers, just on your presentation, during your presentation, on your PowerPoint slide, just list, okay, what each of the 6 papers have, their findings, okay, what methodology, what methods they are using.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the presentation, do we need a PowerPoint file?
Yeah. Yes.
Do we need to give you a PowerPoint file or just Word and PDF file?
The one you submit, that's a PDF or a Word. But when you are presenting, I would like for you to play your PowerPoint slide.
Okay. Okay, I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so about the method, you can just use an autoregression 1 model or the vector autoregression model. The one I just showed you, that's vector autoregression. And the previous weeks, okay, let's see when. Maybe that's March 25, March 25th, we did the autoregression model. So
For
either
the,
one.
For the methodology, we just list the model and the explanation of the test. And not, we don't have to run and give the result of the test.
No. For your proposal, you don't need to give me the empirical results.
We just need the model first, right?
Model first.
Estimation model.
What variables you would like?
Like what model do those paper use? Is that so?
I will show you later.
Okay.
You can, can I use? Okay.
Like this one, no, SEM model.
SEM model. Oh yeah,
Yes.
sure. You can do that.
Yeah, like it's not always a regression model, right?
No.
It's
Yeah, you
not
don't-
necessarily a regression. It can be like any type model.
Yeah, any types of model. But don't forget, okay, the variable you include in, yeah, so please don't forget to put the explanation or definition of the variable.
Like this one.
Oh,
I have already mapping the material.
oh,
Yeah, like I just this topic.
oh, oh, financial literacy. You
It's-
can use
it's-
the financial variable. Oh, that's good.
Like
It's equation.
pay,
For example,
payment gateway.
Oh,
Like a
payment
payment.
gateway.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I use the
Is the model
like
is absolutely
payment gateway in Indonesia.
Oh, that's good.
affect the
Thank
one
you.
element. So if you will have something like this, why fill up some
So
variable?
if you have no other questions, then
You
we are done.
be able to
Yeah, so don't forget we have an online exam. Okay, next Thursday. Next Thursday.
2
Yeah.
2 p.m.
Yeah, 2 o'clock p.m. Oh, so Ryan, could you please remind everyone, line group that we have an exam.
we everyone here except for that.
Except Mr. Endo.
Yeah. So the exam, yeah, for 2 hours. Hopefully you can finish by 4 o'clock p.m. Hopefully you can do that.
So for the final, we already have a proposal. By the time by June, we should finish the result conclusion.
Yeah,
Because
the results and
It's
conclusion.
worth it.
it's more like we have
Based
maybe
on
3
the paper.
because we need to write
Yeah.
and then take picture.
So
You can ask
we
them.
don't
You
need
can
to
offer.
collect
You can offer.
data.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I
but we need
take
to
that
collect
class.
data and
That's
run
the
the
thing.
question.
The only class was I took yesterday.
Professor,
Yes.
now how about, because within the 2 hours, probably after we finish, we need to take picture and then upload.
Uh-huh.
Didn't you think 2 hours is small?
Kayak dimasukin itu.
2 hours. Oh, you
For the exam, yeah, I guess 2 hours will be small. Will not be enough.
Baru ngerti sekarang.
oh, you need 3 hours.
Yes, because after we finish, we need to take picture, arrange, and then
I see because yeah, you're afraid that maybe too many people are uploading and then you might not be able to do that.
yeah.
Oh, okay, 5 before 5.
Yes.
2 until 5.
Okay.
5 o'clock will be fine.
So Ryan, could you please post it to line?
Basically,
So 3 hours.
0.1 unit of
Thank you.
ceiling.
You're welcome.
Just for when 1 unit of ceiling, the price will be 0.015.
Yes, yeah. I got your point.
Okay,
Yes.
so for 1 unit of bruise, then the price will increase by 3.2 units. So for example,
Oh, so don't forget
about weight.
for your midterm exam, handwriting.
For some wage.
Yeah, we use handwriting. Yeah, write your answers on the
On paper.
piece of paper
Inflation
and take
like
pictures.
experience, perfect salary. Okay, so where for every additional year of education and for every additional year of experience, how for that will affect the person's
The
salary.
person's salary.
Henry,
So then we call it.
sorry,
step
Charlie.
and here.
Charlie,
Yeah, you get
do you have antivirus?
antivirus.
Yes. For computer?
It has problem again.
No.
Why? I know where to get it, but I usually the Windows antivirus is pretty good, but nowadays you don't really need like Avast and
Yeah.
Afi malware.
Windows has its own antivirus. So if you want to put another additional antivirus, you got to turn down the Windows antivirus, because if you put the other antivirus, then the Windows will
Bypass.
will
Oh, okay.
they will fight.
Yeah, so
Or
basically,
you can just turn off the framework.
so basically you get data about how 100 people, salary
So
100 people.
let's say if I'm interested in HR, so I wanted to see if someone's education affected their salary. So I'm looking for those paper,
Yeah.
like 6 paper, if whether the education does affected people's salary, then I collect the data and I run it.
Yeah. Basically
And I
like.
So
Yeah.
that's the midterm is about, right?
Yeah, but in this term, you have to write something about finance.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a salary.
For your proposal,
Mhm.
yeah, it's fine. I thought your topic is very interesting.
Yeah, like how education affected the salary.
Yeah,
It is interesting.
But can you use that at this class proposal?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. It's good.